Hi, I'm T. Welcome to Reset. And I just wanted to introduce myself to you and introduce what we're going to be doing over the next 10 modules. Um, Reset is all about pressing the reset button on your health and well-being. It's all about looking at well-being and putting yourself first. So that's what it's about, really. I had quite a journey. I'm going to share that with you just very, very briefly without going into too much detail about it. But I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer a year ago. And I had a tumour the size of my fist under my arm here, and I also had tumours along my collarbone here, quite pronounced tumours running along here that you could see. And I was in Thailand at the time, and I was diagnosed while I was in Bangkok, and it was really quite a scary time for me. I had one chemotherapy in Bangkok, emergency chemo because it was late stage, stage 3, and then I returned back to the UK to follow my treatment. I was working as a program director for a wellness and resort spa at the time, and wellness and detox spa, and I was physically very fit and able. But one of the biggest issues for me was my emotional trauma that I'd been storing for quite some time and not dealing with, and it was building up, and I'd really dropped my immune system. So I know exactly why I got it. I looked into the cause and effect of that quite significantly. Luckily, because I am a qualified health and nutrition coach, I was fascinated and obviously it was very impactful about having that diagnosis. At the time, I was a single mum of 2 girls, the only physical parent in their lives. And I really, really, really had to get onto this journey. There's no way I could allow stage 3 cancer to take me down. It wasn't going to happen. So I took complete control of my health. I took my health 100% responsibility for getting myself well. I could have gone down, the alternative route, because that is very much at the heart of my belief system. But at a late stage, it was a very, very risky strategy at the time. And I decided to go down the medical route. I decided to take the medical route because I felt, okay, I will put my hands across to the medical profession. I will go through these treatments, as brutal as they are. But it's my responsibility 100% to do everything I could alongside the medical profession to make sure that in between the chemotherapy sessions that I was having, that I did everything I could to make myself healthy and well in every way, mind and body, completely well, and to boost my immune system and keep my immune system to its optimum level of health and wellness. And that was my job. I allowed the health authorities, the medical profession, to do their thing. And in between, it was absolutely my job to keep myself incredibly well, keep my immune system up to cope with this very, very invasive and very brutal treatment that I was going to take myself through. So I had 6 chemotherapies, but in between each one of those, there was 3 weeks in between each one, I focused significantly on my health, as I said. I studied as much as I could. I read books, I watched movies, I looked at scientific papers, I read everything I could, I studied everything I could. I saturated myself with information. People who had cured themselves of terminal cancer, people who had been told they had 3 months to live, but they cured themselves without doing any drugs or any chemo or anything at all. And I looked at all of these kinds of things. And I actually found a list of common traits that all of these people did randomly, And I looked across the world at all sorts of different medicine practices and all sorts of different medical practices, stuff in the Western world, stuff in the Eastern philosophies. And I looked at all of these. And I noticed that there were some common traits that kept popping up all the time from people who had, thrived out of the other side of cancer. So I decided to adopt those practices, and I literally did them religiously. I was disciplined and on it to follow these practices. And there were a whole combination of things, and I learned so much. And now I'm on a mission really to say to people, don't wait till you get diagnosed with cancer or chronic disease to start putting your health and well-being first and start putting some of these practices in place before you get ill. Why wait? Why are we waiting until we get told, you've got a chronic disease before we think, wow, shit, I better sort my life out. I better get these imbalances sorted. And also, why hand yourself over to the medical profession expecting them to sort of create miracles when you're doing nothing in between to help yourself? And I saw a lot of stuff happening while I was going through the medical practices, it was quite shocking. Actually, I saw some people doing some pretty risky things. Not because they were trying to sabotage themselves, but just because they just didn't know. They just didn't know what they were doing. I also, through the whole journey, I've never been told through the whole journey what I should eat. Not one oncologist or doctor told me what my diet should be. In fact, I was told a few times, oh, it's fine to eat sugar. You need sugar for energy. Well, let's not get into that right now, but we can come on to that another time. So anyway, I went through the 6 chemos. I knew before I even had to go through surgery that at the end of those 6 chemotherapy sessions, my cancer was gone. I knew it was gone. And I told my surgeon, I don't think I need to have the surgery. The cancer's all gone. He said, well, you can't say that. You've gone from stage 3. We're going to carry on with the surgery. It would only be right to do that. So I did make the decision to carry on and do the surgery. And I had 46 lymph nodes removed from under my arm. And but when they did the pathology report 2 weeks later, and it was interesting because I went in to see the oncologist and I'd forgot that they were going to be giving me the pathology report. He turned around to me and he actually pointed his finger at me and he said, you've either got a guardian angel or you're meant to be on this earth. He said, it's all clear, there's not a trace. He said, you did tell me that. You actually did tell me that it had all gone. I said, well, I know, because I'm very mindful and aware of my body now, and I know exactly what's going on. I check in with myself regularly. That's not to say, guys, that I'm perfect in any way, right? I didn't have my moments, and there's a whole journey around it, and I can share some of those with you. I've had huge moments of fear and sickness and all sorts of other stuff, but I just want to share briefly this story without boring you to death. So he said, yeah, you've either got a guardian angel or you're meant to be on this earth. He said, I can't recognise it clinically, but I would suggest you might want to write about it. So that's what this is about. It would be a travesty not to share this information with you. I've learned so much. What I'm not saying is that you should go out into the forest and live on, squirrel nuts and just do this homeopathic thing and go down that route to be healthy and well and to cure yourself of all diseases or to prevent yourself from getting chronic disease. I'm not saying that. But also, on the other hand, I'm not saying, just hand yourself over to the medical profession either. I believe that we need to take an integrated approach. We need to take all that's good from the medical profession and all that's good from the, holistic and alternative areas of medicine and put them together and work together into this integrative way of being. And not just for things like cancer, but things like diabetes and other chronic diseases. There's a lot of incredible results out there from some of these alternative practices, as well as some great results from some of the medical professions. So I just found that as a patient of it, you were kind of stuck between the two. Each party was slagging off the other one and saying, well, you shouldn't go down that route because it's really risky. And the other ones were saying, well, you shouldn't go down that route because it's really risky. And there you are stuck in the middle with this chronic disease, late stage cancer. And the cancer word is pretty damn scary. And you're kind of not sure which way to go. It's really, really difficult. So let's not fight each other anymore. Let's come together and find the best solution. And there's an awful lot of stuff out there to do. So yeah, I had 6 chemos. The cancer all went after 46 lymph nodes removed, they told me, and then I had 15 radiotherapy sessions, and it all finished in August. Now, I'm not a medical professional. I'm a qualified health and nutrition coach. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not here to cure you. Nothing I say in any of my videos is meant to diagnose, treat, or cure any illness. I need to get that clear. That's my disclaimer here. So this is just my opinion and my research. This is all based on what I've gone through and what I've researched. But you can do that too. All the information is out there and available. And I will be sharing that with you. On my website, resetforsuccess.com, I do have a new Kicking Cancer video series coming up. So anybody who is going through cancer or knows of someone who has cancer, that would be a pretty useful set of videos to watch. Actually, there's 12 video modules on that, and it's all on the site. You can have a look. So really, that's what Reset is all about. You'll be seeing these kind of modules coming up. I've got 10 of them to share with you. Reset is for anyone who wants to start taking their health and well-being really seriously and making it a priority. And I want you to start looking at this now. 1 in 2 people in the UK will be diagnosed with cancer. Are we going to wait till everybody actually gets cancer? It's kind of a given. It used to be 1 in 4, now it's 1 in 2. Are we going to wait till it's kind of a given that everyone's going to get cancer at some point in their life? Or do we want to stop now and start looking at some of this stuff? Do we want to start listening to people who've gone through this journey and have learnt stuff and can share that with each other? Do we want to work together and stop working in these silos of information where everybody, some certain people know that information, certain people know that? No, let's work together. Now, I don't know whether my cancer will come back. I have no clue at all. I can't say that, I can't say whether it will come back. I have no clue about that. But all I do know, and this is a fact, is that I went from stage 3 cancer, significant tumours in my body, to not a trace in less than 6 months. That's a fact. That's what's happened. So I am now going to use all of these things that I've learned, and I have adopted them all, and I still carry on with them, and all of these disciplines that I'll be sharing with you in these modules coming along. So all of the disciplines that I'll be sharing with you in the next 10 modules I use, and I will do now everything, and my stuck answer to everything is whatever it takes, to make sure that I do everything I possibly can to stop myself getting this chronic disease again, or a recurrence of cancer. I can't guarantee it. You can keep following me into the next 20, 30 years, and let's see. But, if I can help other people put practice in place, disciplines in place that are going to stop you, or at least prevent you, or at least give you a chance of not getting it, of not putting yourself in the conditions, putting your body and your mind in the conditions that are going to affect your chances of having these chronic diseases, then that's all I can do. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm going to share as much information with you as possible because my story is significant. I did go through stage 3 cancer, late stage. I did learn an awful lot, and I am here to share that with you, and it's all going to be free on YouTube, so I've got nothing else to lose. I kind of asked myself, who am I to share this information with you, But who am I not? I'm just a normal person like anybody else. I'm a single working mum, and I really want to make you realise that I'm no superwoman. I'm not telling you to get up and do, ridiculous things every morning, but there are some really easy practical things that you can start to apply in your life to keep yourself really healthy and well. And I believe that if we could work together, all of us, and have this kind of community where we are working together, the medical profession, all of the other health practitioners, people who have thrived outside of the other side of cancer and why, and looking at the common denominators, the common platforms as to how come people have thrived and what is it they've been doing to get through some of this, and how can we share this information to make our planet as healthy as possible and help each other. And that's what this is about. So thanks for listening so far, and this is really the intro for it. So start looking at the other modules that will be coming through, and I'll introduce them to you as we go. And we'll be doing, I'm going to try and do a module a week, certainly one every couple of weeks, but if I can do a module a week, we'll do over the next 10 weeks. So, and welcome, and you're very welcome to come live on top of this to our Facebook page and also go onto the website. So thanks for listening, and welcome to Reset, and I'll speak to you too. My name's T. Take care. Bye.